About 100 kilometres off South Korea's southern coast and lapped by the waves of the East China Sea is an island of the gods, Jeju Island. An extraordinary holiday paradise on a volcanic island with temples, waterfalls, tea plantations and several leisure facilities. In the middle of the north coast is Jeju-Si, the island's capital city. The first thing that catches the eye is Yongduam Rock, that is situated on the city's western periphery, an unusual lava formation that resembles a dragon's head. The National Museum features the island's history and culture, including the clothing of the first settlers and the boats that brought them here. Early handicrafts and diving also feature. The indigenous population were once farmers and hunters until tourism arrived and changed their way of life. The Samyangdong Open Air Museum highlights the first century of the island's habitation, when the kingdom of Silla gave way to the rule of the Goryeo dynasty. Round huts built from the volcanic landscape were covered with horizontal reed roofs in order to withstand the region's powerful storms. Close to Jeju-Si, a windmill denotes one of the island's many horse-breeding farms. Riding has a long tradition here and is also popular with holidaymakers. In 1276, the Mongols came here, along with their horses, which remained on the island and soon settled into the volcanic landscape. At the center of the eastern part of the island is the Songaksan Crater, one of 360 of the island's volcanoes. With a diameter that measures 2 kilometers, it's an impressive sight. At first, the volcano is hard to make out due to the abundance of green vegetation that for thousands of years has encroached upon its lava fields and walls. Today, neat pathways of lava sand cross this large area that originated from a molten mass deep within the bowels of the earth. On our journey to the east coast, we stop at the village of Seonggyeop. While ruled by King Sejong in 1423, this was the island's center of government. Today, the island's peace-loving inhabitants still live in their traditional reed-covered stone houses that are surrounded by high walls of lava. The government of South Korea subsidizes the maintenance of this cultural treasure as it is an important feature of the local tourist industry. The governor's large residence has been well preserved. He ruled from here until 1914. The massive fortified walls with their watchtowers and gates are reminiscent of more belligerent times. Finally, we reach the island's east coast that is dominated by the Seongshan Ichilbong, an extinct volcano just off the coast. Seen from the idyllic bay, the volcano's crater is picture postcard perfect. The bay attracts many sightseers. The village of Songaksan, which means Mountain Fortress Harbour, was sited here as it offered good shelter from the elements. It's here that we encounter one of the island's famous female divers who is cleaning freshly caught sea urchins before offering them for sale on the beach. And there are horses too. Both day and night, fishermen and their small boats catch fish in the surf that breaks around the volcanic mountain. A few kilometers south along the coast is Seapchikoji. A tiny, romantic-looking church stands isolated on a cliff. At first, it looks totally authentic. It attracts hordes of sightseers. But soon, the truth is revealed. This was the set on which a highly popular TV series was filmed, and the church and other buildings were used as backdrops. Perhaps the lighthouse is also an illusion. At the side of the road, fishermen hang their catch out to dry next to their boats. Entertainment is popular on Jeju Island. Thus, there are several circus buildings in which performances take place each day. The Chinese circus is particularly popular with the mainly Korean and Japanese spectators who watch the shows with great enthusiasm. This dreamland performance features highly skilled acts that are among the finest in the world and are executed seamlessly. Some of the acts are not performed beyond these shores. Horses also feature, and the daring performances of the riders are a reminder of the origin of this art form, the amazing horsemen of Mongolia. In Happy Town, the shows also begin with amazing Chinese circus entertainment. Incredible acrobatics performed both in the air and on the ground. However, the highlight of the show is the motorcyclists who ride round within a ball of steel wire. Now we have arrived at the south coast and visit one of the island's largest and most beautiful Buddhist temples, Wolpyeongdong. It has been beautifully renovated. Along with Christianity, Confucianism and shamanism, Buddhism is one of the main doctrines of Korean culture. Buddhist doctrine has been transformed several times since it was first introduced here in 370 AD. Seon, better known as Zen, is its most well-known form. Buddhists are extremely tolerant and frequently share their places of worship with believers of the shaman doctrine, their deities placed side by side with the Buddha figures. Still on the southern coast, we visit the only waterfall in Asia that flows directly into the sea, the 23-meter-high Yongduam waterfall. To get closer to the waterfall, it's necessary to negotiate the rocky terrain. Quite precarious it is, too. This place is famous due to the Seaweed legend. He was a delegate of the Chinese emperor who sought a wife here. This location is very popular with tourists and gets rather busy. The Yongduam Rock that dominates the coastline is 2 kilometres long. A truly spectacular section of the coast south of Hallasan Park. Deep below, the surf breaks wildly against the strangely shaped volcanic rock that is like a group of pillars. These strange shapes were formed by the rapid cooling and shrinking of lava. A little distance from the coast is a modern building complex that contains the biggest botanical garden in Asia, Jeju-Si. Here, one of the largest greenhouses in the world contains around 2,000 rare plants and more than 1,700 seed plants that blossom magnificently, as well as many varieties of cacti. The large park also features an Italian garden with ponds and colourful water lilies. The Japanese garden contains a number of shining red bridges as well as several beautiful trees. A tranquil paradise for the senses. And now another attraction, Pacific Land. Here, there's a modern theatre with large water tanks situated in front of the stage. A few cute monkeys show off their comical tricks. Next, it's the turn of the seals, both in and out of the water. They perform several times a day. With their mouths, they throw the ball into a basketball hoop and hold swimming races. Next, the highlight of the show. Dolphins demonstrate why they are among the most intelligent mammals known to man. Their synchronized performances go well, and their huge side-by-side leaps into the air also impress the excited spectators. From each corner of the island, the landscape constantly rises towards the slopes of the Haenyed volcano. At a height of 1,950 meters, it dominates the island. Subtropical humidity accumulates on its slopes and creates the perfect climate for the cultivation of tea that has been grown here since the 3rd century. The plantations are open to the public, and visitors are able to observe the machines that harvest the island's green tea. Although harvesting methods have changed with the times, the island's tea has retained its original quality, and the plantation is a wonderfully romantic location. The western section of the south coast is called the Yongduam Coast and is only accessible on foot, with more steep, weather-beaten cliffs. Within the rocky walls are many caves. Walking along the steep cliffs high above the sea is quite an adventure. The bay features a replica of a Dutch trading ship that in 1653 was travelling towards Japan when it ran ashore here. The shipwrecked seamen were taken to Seoul, where they were imprisoned for 13 years until they eventually escaped. The nearby fishing village of Haenyed boasts a special attraction. It's the home of the island's famous female divers. For generations, these courageous women have dived for shells and seaweed, and they do this without breathing apparatus. After working for several hours, they return by boat. They dive to a depth of 20 meters and go for 2 minutes without breathing. Next, they clean their working tools and prepare for their next dive. Their tools consist of an empty gourd for resting between the dives and a net in which to secure the results of their labors. Tired but content and attired in their black diving suits, the female divers return home. An admirable, age-old tradition. The Yongduam waterfall is also located on the south coast and is to be found at the end of a tree-covered canyon. After heavy rainfall, cascades of water plunge down from a cliff into a pool below. From there, the water flows through the canyon towards the sea. A group photo in front of the waterfall is an absolute must. On the western heights of the south coast is the Songaksan Crater. Again, it's not at first apparent that it's an extinct volcano, as its slopes are covered with green vegetation. The steep coast and rocky bay indicate that powerful eruptions once took place here, and perhaps the volcano's benign appearance may only be a momentary lapse in the geological history of the island. Commercial fishing on large boats is very much a part of the south of Jeju Island's economy. During the day, the boats lie at anchor, while the nets and machinery are prepared for the night's work. Various boat trips are available nearby. They travel to many of the area's tiny islands. We leave the harbour, past the fish stores and sturdy harbour defences that have to withstand the region's savage storms. After about 30 minutes, the first islands come into view, along with some caves that were once used as hiding places. The dark holes stir the imagination of the sightseers, and many attempt to take a snapshot with one of the caves in the background. Soon the boat turns round and everyone is relieved to be heading back to the security of the harbour. The captain skillfully steers the boat past the sea defences and into the harbour entrance. And soon the passengers set foot on solid ground. And another experience awaits, a submarine trip on a tiny submarine. A boat transports some brave tourists from the harbour. Just off a small island is a jetty, from which the submarine can be boarded. The submarine slowly descends 30 meters and its passengers are able to experience a strange new world. Shoals of fish pass close to the portholes. Colourful coral is also another splendid sight. Next, the submarine slowly rises to the surface and returns to the jetty, from where the boat travels back to the harbour. From a distance, the submarine looks tiny, and after its final dive of the day, it's taken back to the harbour. The underwater adventure is over, and the courageous explorers of the deep return to dry land. In 2002, the city of Siagwipo hosted the Football World Cup, and a stadium for 42,000 spectators was built that looks like a volcanic crater. A devastating typhoon demolished some sections of the roof, but fortunately no one was injured. Since then, several dolarubangs have guarded the stadium. These huge stone grandfathers are the symbol of Jeju. Here there are several luxurious hotels and fine holiday resorts. The Lotte Hotel is typical of the area's quality accommodation. Due to its subtropical climate, Jeju Island has become a popular honeymoon destination for both Koreans and Japanese alike. For those who don't wish to explore the island's many attractions, the hotel complexes have several of their own. Holiday resorts such as this are ideal for casting aside the routine of everyday life. Despite the many tourists here, these huge hotel complexes are a haven of leisure and relaxation. Numerous canals cross the huge park that surrounds the various hotel buildings, and 3 picturesque windmills stand within a small lake. No wonder that a television series was filmed here. In the evening, many holidaymakers take photos using the illuminated windmills as a romantic backdrop. And now for the climax of our tour. Las Vegas meets South Korea. It's the Volcano Fountain Show, with fire, water, and the gods. A fantastic multimedia spectacular that features the island's origins and the battle of the laser gods. Volcanoes erupt with great explosions of light, and glowing lava creates an island between foaming masses of water. Finally, a fiery dragon appears to protect Jeju-Do for all eternity.